Hello and welcome. My name is Dmitry Markolov, aka at Dmitry Make Love, and you're listening to an episode of Faucets of Reality, a show in which we explore, learn about, and grow our understanding of what it is to be human at this time on Earth. Ever since I can remember, and it feels like forever, I have been fascinated with what all this is: being, life, and the nature of reality in general. It is now my hope to traverse these different facets and expand consciousness together with you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being here. If you find that you enjoy listening, please subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and/or comment, as it shows the algorithm what I'm doing here is truly worthwhile and helps me reach more people. And with that, let's begin. Hello to everyone listening. This is episode 2 of Faucets of Reality. I'm very happy and grateful to be here with you. I'm grateful that you're tuning in and listening also. I'm really excited for this episode. It's going to be all about consciousness, which is kind of a big topic in general. It's a big topic in philosophy and in science, and I think it's a good place to start. So first, I wanted to say a quote by Lao Tzu. One who knows does not speak. One who speaks does not know. I think this is central to what I'm doing here because I must admit I don't know. I don't actually know. And when we are speaking, we are coming from a place of exploring, a place where we are trying to make sense of it. We don't know what reality actually is. I don't know what it is. I'm just exploring here. And I'm just hoping that you'll join me in this journey. So yeah, we are starting big. What is consciousness? I looked up the definition, and the first one is, as defined by a modern dictionary, it's an alert cognitive state in which you are aware of yourself and your situation. And the second one is having knowledge of. So basically, consciousness, as termed by modern society, is just kind of an awareness of yourself, kind of an awakenedness, or it is knowing something. So that's why I made sure to say that we don't know for sure. For me, consciousness is always here and now. It is always in the present moment. It is also the foundation to all phenomena, the way I see it. Without consciousness, we wouldn't experience anything at all. It is behind all happenings. It holds everything together. It is the connecting source. It is the connecting link. It is the thread that weaves through all facets of reality. It is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, which is 3 terms that have been used to define God. Omnipotent meaning all powerful. It is capable of all things that are possible. Omniscient means it knows everything, has access to all knowledge ever. And it is omnipresent, which means it is all pervading. It is everywhere. You cannot get away from it. If you're listening right now, you are conscious. We're in consciousness right now. Um, and so, because it is basically something that is kind of the foundation of reality, it is by definition mysterious. It is something that we can never fully grasp. I'll never be able to fully speak on it. Can only point to it. Um, it is bigger than any definition. It's always it's in the box, but it's always what's outside the box too, if that makes sense. And this is why science will never be able to find it or define it. It's not that science created consciousness, it's the other way around. Consciousness created science as a tool of exploring the external world. Science would be experimenting and finding constants or things that repeat or patterns. But consciousness is also that which doesn't repeat and it's outside of patterns also. It is sometimes it's lightning quick and it cannot be predicted. Consciousness takes all forms, as I already said. So another um, tool that you can say consciousness created is philosophy. And that is what this whole channel, what I'm doing here, is based on. It's going to be more philosophy, I would say, because I believe that philosophy can get closest to defining consciousness. And someone, I forget who exactly, someone said that everything is philosophy. Everything was a thought at first. Everything that was created was thought first. It was thought into being. Um, so everything is philosophy, and philosophy is the closest to consciousness. What is philosophy? Philosophy literally means it comes from philosophy, which philo means love. Sophie, like Sophia, means wisdom. Believe it's a Greek name. Philosophy, philosophy, the love of wisdom. There's wisdom behind everything. Everything is created on top of wisdom. It is using reason to get back to God, to create a path back to God. I believe that is something my father told me once. Philosophy is literally finding a path back to God reasonably, within reason, using reason to reason what all this is. Another thing that I learned is philosophy is asking the question, why? Why is it like this? You know, it's one of the first things children do is ask why. But why is it like this? Why? Why? And if you keep asking why, you get back to the original cause of all things, to the source, you can say. Now, in psychology, there's the conscious, the unconscious, and the superconscious, which are kind of, again, breaking up consciousness into things we can deal with, which is also what science does. It's a fracturing force. It divides things, but philosophy, we try to bring it back together into one coherent meaning, to unity. Now, some may say consciousness is awareness, and although it is true that consciousness helps one to be aware, if you're conscious of something, it's almost like you're aware of it. Consciousness is also unawareness. It's also unconsciousness also. So even if you're not aware of something, consciousness still pervades it. You may not be aware of something right now, but it is within consciousness, if that makes sense. um, so consciousness is everything, and that means that to alter consciousness would be to alter reality. To change consciousness, you change reality. So everything around you is based on your conscious perception, how you're conceiving it. Whatever you're conscious of enters your reality. If you can be conscious of something, then it is real for you. And so that brings me to something a bit darker, maybe. And it's called magick. Magick with a K at the end. It's also something that I studied extensively earlier in my life. And there's definitely a lot to be said. I'm thinking of doing some episodes of that. I have so many ideas of what I want to do for the next episodes, and think that might be a whole different topic to explore one day. But for now, like a basic definition of what magic is the ability or being able to alter consciousness in accordance with will. It's very simple. So you will the change of consciousness, and it can create all kinds of things in reality, quote unquote. There's a big thing in consciousness, which is altering states of, or modes of consciousness. Um, we humans are very modal creatures. We go from mode to mode. You know, one minute you're sleeping, next minute you're awake, next minute you're in the shower. Each one of those is a different state of consciousness, different modes, and we can alter those if we'd like. You know, next you're making breakfast, you know, then you're putting on your clothes. Each one of those needs a different set of um, abilities or realities, I guess. And we can kind of jump from different states or modes like that. Ultimately, consciousness is God energy. Ultimately, to be aware of some things, to have light on it. Consciousness is light, and it's love. Being aware of something, giving your attention to something is God energy. It comes from straight from source. It's what the whole universe is based on. It is creation itself. And in what is known as Kathara, which is something that came to me a few years ago, and I've been very inspired by it. It literally explains all of reality very systematically. Something that I also want to be going more into as these episodes keep going. So again, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me. In Cathar, there's something known as Partiki. And Partiki can be viewed in spiritual terms as units of the identity of God, the central creative source. Or in the law of one, the one infinite creator. All things are composed of Partiki, and thus all things, beings, and consciousness are intrinsically holy, as they are composed of and united through the eternal substance of God. So Partiki are little units of light that make up all things in reality. I cannot overstate this enough. This is the most interesting thing that I've found in the last couple of years, is the science of Partiki and the study of it. And again, I think I want to go more into that maybe at a later episode. Let me know if that's something you want to hear more of. But again, let's just kind of go back a little bit, and I want to say this quote that's been said, many times. Uh, some of the some gurus would say it to their disciples to get them to wake up. And I'm sure you've heard this many times, if a tree falls and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? We've heard this many times, but when you really think into it, that's kind of pointing to what I'm talking about here, consciousness. Now, if something happens and you're not aware of it, does it really happen or not? And so now even science, quantum mechanics, are just getting to this point of understanding that all phenomena need an observer, need someone to be observing it. Or else it's as if it didn't happen, right? Consciousness creates our reality. The double slit experiment, which I don't want to talk about too much because I'm sure you've heard of it. If you're listening to this, you've probably heard of the double slit. If not, look it up, Google it. But it basically says that there's an observer bias. So if something is being observed, it acts differently than if it's not being observed. I'm sure you could understand that through your own life. If you're being watched or you feel like you're being watched, you're going to act differently. Maybe more in accordance to preconceived social rules or more orderly. But if you're not being watched, you might act differently from that, right? So, something we could all understand, I'm pretty sure. So I just want to say, kind of to wrap things up, that I feel as though consciousness is the most important human attribute. Now, there's consciousness without humans, but being human as humans, this is our greatest power, is consciousness. Being able to alter it, being able to be aware of things that maybe we weren't aware of before. Maybe we weren't conscious of something, but now we are. And that can change the whole world. It can change everything. Your whole reality can be changed just by opening your consciousness to new things in the here and now, in the present. So I'd just like to leave you with a question, and that is, what are you conscious of? Remember and ask yourself over and over, what are you conscious of? And begin to change it. Begin to empower yourself. Be conscious of the right things. What are you conscious of? I'm serious. What are you conscious of? Love and light from the one infinite creator. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. And more on the way soon. Have a good one. Hey, you made it to the end. You get a gold star. Seriously, thank you so much. You are supporting what I am doing here just by listening, and I appreciate that a whole lot. Remember to subscribe, and if for any reason you wish to reach out, I am on Instagram at Dimitri Make Love. That's DimitryMakelove. Have an amazing day. Remember, all is one. IO. And until next time.